Hey everybody, it's Smudgy Gay. This is Lana Turner, a real actress. No one got my Lana Turner reference in my Christmas special. I'm not surprised. I did an actual line from Imitation of Life starring Lana Turner. When one of those Romney people asked me what I thought Newt Gingrich was going to be doing in Iowa, I quoted Lana Turner in Imitation of Life and said, "He's going up, up, up," which of course is Lana Turner. A great star from a better age. It is the night before Iowa and all through the House. The only people having any fun are the people who are Santorum supporters. I feel like calling everybody I've ever known out. You know, this is something that I really have to consider as I sit here on the cusp of fame. This has always been my issue. How famous do I want to become? I enjoy blocking people so much. I don't suffer fools. I guess maybe if I got famous, I could have people handling all of that. But you know I have a volatile temper. Of course, then maybe that makes it perfect for me to be a really great star in the Sean Penn, Mark Levin school. Hothead. Hothead gay. So I would be actively promoting Newt Gingrich right now, the candidate I had endorsed earlier. But with 41% of Iowans still undecided, Newt Gingrich decided to announce that he's losing tomorrow. My immediate response was, Mitt's got it. Mitt's going to win. Mitt, of course, said, I'm going to win. Between the defeatism of the Newt people and the grotesque spectacle that is the Ron Paul people, I'm really left to wonder, what's so bad about Mitt Romney? Why are we supposed to be so hopped up against him again? Because I know that this is part of the plan. Because Mitt is the only one who seems like an adult. And Mitt's whole thing, and you know, they've just had him sitting back and letting it all happen. I'm kind of over the conspiracy theories. I listened to the always brilliant Andrew Breitbart yesterday on Victory Sessions. I don't know if I mentioned it in my last vlog. But he said that he talked to a classical liberal at a party the previous weekend. He said it was Bob Dylan's old manager. And he started to think that maybe he's not a conservative. Maybe he's a classical liberal. And I kind of think that that's okay. You know, Whittaker Chambers, my hero, was not a conservative. He called himself a man of the right, which I've always called myself as well. He said, I'm a man of the right who will vote the straight Republican ticket until the day I die, was how Whittaker Chambers described himself. I think that with the debacle of Obama and so many Democrats entering the Tea Party, coupled with the debacle of George Bush and so many conservatives running away from the GOP, there was an effort to be seen as, a desire to be seen as anti-establishment. I think that, I agree with Ann Coulter, I think that a lot of liberals from the Democrat Party brought that with them. And I think that there was this element in Tea Party, that this was a revolution. A lot of 60s ideas creeped in there, liberal ideas. I think my generation is especially prone to that sort of thinking. And you couple that with the if it feels good, do it aspect of the Ron Paul followers, and no war, the Code Pink, Woody Harrelson type people that support, I don't know if Woody Harrelson supports Ron Paul, but that type of person, that kind of degenerate, libertine Ron Paul supporter. And you have a really toxic brew. And I think that some of us have to stand back and look at this whole thing sober-minded. I think we have to step up and actually kind of at least imitate grown-ups and think to ourselves, is this just a load of nonsense? Dana Lash was calling out people on Twitter this evening for worshiping candidates. And I agree with her completely. I told you that that's one of the things that I found appealing about Newt, that I didn't like him. It's one of the reasons why I became a Newt supporter, because I knew that I would not fall in love with him. Sarah Palin, I'll call her out now. She was on Fox this afternoon. She again played footsie. I don't know what's happened to her. It seems like she's more non-committal and babbling than ever before. And she mixes tenses, and you can barely understand what she's saying. And she kept talking around answers about if she was going to run. The fact that we're still talking about whether or not she's going to run in 2012 is a lot of nonsense. It is a lot of nonsense. And she wouldn't straight out say that she wasn't going to. And of course, all the Palinistas are looking at it like this is the Oracle at Delphi. That she's telling us what Zeus wants us to do. And then she's saying it's not too late for somebody. And of course, who's one of the somebodies? Donald Trump. That Donald Trump is great. That he has a lot to offer. So apparently, Palin says you should be writing in Donald Trump tomorrow in Iowa. I mean, I really shouldn't bother even offering any advice. After all, with 41%, as I said, undecided, Newt says that he's lost it already. So we're just taking the night off. The Newt people are just taking the night off. Something else, can I say something else about the Newt people? They keep saying, don't say this in your tweets, don't say that in your tweets. Hey, how about this? Don't tell me how to tweet, baby. How about that? I think they'll find that effective tweeting is not repeating the same 3 or 4 pre-approved propaganda stories over and over and over again. Those people are usually blocked. I don't think they completely understand that it's an interactive medium. Going back to Sarah Palin, after she enthusiastically spoke out on behalf of Donald Trump, she then defended Ron Paul. She praised the Paul bots for being the most loyal, unlike her followers, the most loyal people in the GOP. The people who routinely talk about forming a third party, or the people who aren't even Republicans to begin with. Half of his followers are either third party or Democrat. I just couldn't sit there anymore and just smile about how great the nice lady was. Then she talks about how we could have Ron Paul as president with Israel if he had some really good people around him who would alter everything he thinks, basically, that his Israel policy would be changed. She also supported Ron Paul's support of austerity measures, which is, of course, what Obama's been pushing, and is what has driven Europe to the brink. The austerity measures in Europe are what's caused the riots, and I find them profoundly anti-capitalist. I was unpleasantly surprised. I think Sarah's mad that she doesn't have that kind of loyal following that Ron Paul has. There's some of us who've said, okay, enough. So anyway, You've got one fully functional cult in the GOP, and you've got one semi-charismatic cult in the GOP. You know, everyone's ganging up on what's his name, Huntsman. Who cares? Huntsman was never going to win Iowa. His only chance is New Hampshire. Who cares? He'll be out of there after New Hampshire. You know he's in it for a cabinet position anyway. You know what I'm saying? I just wonder if Newt's got the fight in him. You know, I'll call out Tammy. I'll call out everybody in this vlog because I'm just over it. Tammy ripped into Newt for not being able to withstand vetting and the attack ads, and then she defended Santorum like he was a victim. She was accusing Newt of being a victim and then defending Santorum as a victim of mainstream media attacks. Hypocrisy. Santorum is coming across as fairly likable, but then, of course, we don't know anything about him. They've all really come across as likable at first. I have to say I've been impressed with Santorum's moderating of his messaging for his social conservatism. I have no problem with social conservatism. I do have a problem with theocracy. And his, as he called it, harsh language. He used really repulsive language in the past. I'm happy to hear him moderating that. I was also kind of pleasantly surprised to see Laura Ingraham really going for Santorum at the end, much more aggressively than any of, say, the Gingrich supporters are going for Gingrich right now. And it also really called into question this whole conspiracy theory, like so many of the conspiracy theories that we've all had to go through and get all angry about and upset about, that Ingraham was a robot, a spokesperson for Romney, because when the chips are down, she seems to be for Santorum and not Romney. You know, you can't just keep watching the TV. You shouldn't be watching the TV, period, as far as I'm concerned. But to each his own. You can't just keep watching the TV and analyzing it and coming up with crackpot conspiracy theories, or you're going to end up like Ron Paul. It's time for the grown-ups to take the country back, you guys. And it may be kind of boring, and it may not be as romantic and as exciting as a revolution. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Small G Gay, man of the right.